And we begin with a Fox News alert. President Trump meeting with Japan's emperor earlier this morning after arriving in Tokyo.
Yep, that emperor had clothes. It's the second stop on Trump's Asia trip as he's prepared to meet with more world leaders from the region this week, including China's President Xi.
Senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey joining us live from Tokyo with the latest. Good morning, Peter.
Yes, a big grand welcome for President Trump just a few minutes after Air Force One landed and Marine One took him into a central part of Tokyo. He was greeted by the emperor, and Japan is really important to President Trump's foreign policy. This is his fourth trip here across the two terms, and a big thing that they are trying to do with this visit is counter China's influence in the region ahead of a sit-down with China's Xi in South Korea.
We're going to have a great talk. I have a lot of respect for President Xi. I like him a lot. He likes me a lot, I believe, and respects me, and I think he respects our country a lot. And we're going to have, I think we're going to have a successful transaction for both countries.
A TikTok deal advancing the sale from China to a U.S. group of investors may be signed on Thursday with Xi, and a broader trade deal is also possible if negotiators can come up with a deal that President Trump feels is more fair to U.S.-based companies.
I believe we've reached a very substantial framework that will avoid that and allow us to discuss many other things with the Chinese. I think we will be able to discuss them helping us get this terrible fentanyl crisis under control. I think we are going to be able to discuss substantial soybean and ag purchases for our American farmers.
And on the way here to Japan and Malaysia, the video of the weekend, President Trump felt like dancing to the music at an arrival ceremony on the way to sign 3 rare earth mineral deals with Cambodia and Thailand and Malaysia, and then to oversee the end of another conflict. The president posted this, just leaving Malaysia, a great and very vibrant country, signed major trade and rare earth deals, and yesterday, most importantly, signed the peace treaty between Thailand and Cambodia. No war, millions of lives saved. Such an honor to have gotten this done. And just to give you a sense here on the ground of how seriously decorum is enforced here in Japan, you see this video of the president and the emperor. The press pool capturing the close-up images of this handshake were warned by the hosts that if they shout questions or shout anything in the presence of the emperor, it is considered here assault. Back to you.
So, Peter, you did not shout a question.
No, we're on a hotel balcony little bit down the road.
It would have been hard.
My shouting is just going to be normal shouts that I would do off a hotel balcony.
Probably you need a bullhorn, but go ahead.
Tell us more about him visiting with the troops. I understand he's going to visit with U.S. troops there.
Yes, we expect that tomorrow. And actually some excitement over the last 24 hours or so. There were 2, we've got all these assets in the region. And in the South China Sea, there were 2 different aircraft that crashed separately within 30 minutes of each other. Everybody was rescued from the South China Sea. But President Trump just said aboard Air Force One, he does not think there was foul play involved. He thinks that those aircraft might have both had bad fuel, which is very unusual. Back to you.
Hey, Peter, tell me more about the meeting that will happen soon between President Trump and Japan's brand new Prime Minister, Sanae Takahashi. There's been a lot of talk about her, very conservative, a heavy metal drummer, but very much in line with President Trump's thinking.
Yes, she loves to play the drums. She used to be a TV host, and she loves Margaret Thatcher. But the thing that President Trump likes the most about her is that in Japan's parliament, she was a close ally of President Trump's really good friend, the late Shinzo Abe, who left office and then was assassinated, but whose wife remains a close friend of President Trump and has visited him at Mar-a-Lago. So President Trump has a very, very high opinion of her, which is rare because he typically is very skeptical of world leaders that he does not know. And she has a plan to try, the new prime minister has a plan to try to capture his attention and keep it. And that is, when they meet, she is going to float a proposal for the Japan Transport Ministry, basically the trucks that go around and inspect the roads and make sure that everything is safe, is going to buy potentially a whole fleet of Ford F-150 trucks. President Trump complains all the time that when he comes to a country like this, he doesn't see any American cars on the road. That would be a way for a ton of American cars to come in here. And on Air Force One, he said that he thinks that's a good idea because that is a hot truck.
All right, Peter, thanks so much. We'll check in with you again as this trip continues. I think they really want to see Japan spend more on defense. You know, the one thing that China fears, it's a strong Japan. And I think that this prime minister is looking to bolster that. So if they could find the money in the budget, I think that would be huge. And it'll take some pressure off us.
And on Thursday, when the president meets with the leader of China, this will be the first time since 2019, so 6 years they've met. Scott Bessent was on some of the Sunday shows yesterday, and he said that China trade framework, which is already ready, it covers the soybeans, TikTok, critical minerals, and addresses the fentanyl crisis. He said that the TikTok deal has already been written. They just have to officially consummate that deal when they meet on Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And to your point, Brian, I do think that Sanae Takahashi, the new prime minister of Japan, is likely to lean into that defense spending increase because that's what Shinzo Abe's legacy was. And so we'll see if we get news out of that.
In Melania's book, she talked about how she is really good friends with Abe's wife. As he mentioned, she has visited Mar-a-Lago before. But I asked her one time in an interview, who are you closest with out of all the world leaders or first ladies or, you know, other leaders? And she said it was Abe's wife.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.